Mirela Chavaida wanted to have a child. But at 24 weeks pregnant, she was told her baby had a fast-growing malignant tumor. The fetus would not survive or would be born with catastrophic defects. Croatian law allows abortion in such cases. Yet, when Mirela turned to 4 hospitals in Zagreb, 2 refused outright and 2 never answered. Days passed. The tumor kept growing. She was left without support, without information, and without psychological help. Desperate, Mirela crossed the border to Slovenia. There, doctors performed determination. In Croatia, more than half of public hospital gynecologists refuse to perform abortions, citing conscientious objection. Some hospitals have no doctor at all willing to help. Mirela's ordeal showed that in Croatia, abortion rights exist only on paper. In practice, women are abandoned, forced to fight for basic care, or to leave the country.
Dorota was 33 years old and 20 weeks pregnant when her water broke. The fetus had almost no chance of survival, and the longer she waited, the greater the risk of septic shock. Yet, doctors refused to induce labor. For 3 days, they monitored her as her conditions worsened. On May 24, 2023, Dorota died of septic shock in a hospital in Novi Targ. Her death triggered protests across Poland. It made clear that under restrictive laws, pregnant women are left in danger, and sometimes they do not come out alive.
In 2016, 32-year-old Valentina Miluzzo was pregnant with twins after fertility treatment. At 19 weeks, she was admitted to a hospital in Catania, Sicily, with complications. She spent 2 weeks in stable condition. Then, 1 fetus died. Valentina developed sepsis. She was in agony, but the doctor refused to act. He was a conscientious objector. As long as the second fetus still had the heartbeat, he would not intervene. Overnight, Valentina's condition worsened. She was moved to intensive care, but died the next day. Her parents later testified that doctors said, "As long as it's alive, we can't do anything." Valentina's death showed how in Italy, when doctors refuse care, women's lives can be lost while the law protects inaction.
Welcome. Oh, hello. Okay, welcome to the press conference of My Voice, My Choice. We are here today because in Europe still 20 million of women do not have access to safe abortion. We are here because women are still killed in Polish hospitals, and we are here because we want to change this. We went on a long journey with our initiative. We collected 1 million signatures, 1,200,000 signatures for safe and accessible abortion. We brought them to the European institutions. Already 2 times voting happened in the European Parliament about our initiative, and we won both times. And today we had a hearing, which is the official part of the ECI procedure, in front of members of European Parliament and in front of the Commissioner. Today we will speak once again about the facts that we told at the hearing. And firstly, I'm giving word to Theo, our amazing lawyer, who will once again explain the legal basis of our initiative.
Is this working?
Yeah, I think it works.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Theo Gauthier, one of the lawyers who worked since the beginning on the ECI My Voice, My Choice. I want to apologize for my English, which is not the best. As you are well aware, banning abortion does not limit its practice, but simply leads to abortion being carried out in fundamentally dangerous conditions, which can result in death and or psychological suffering. Access to abortion is therefore a public health issue. It is true that we cannot ask everything to the European level. For example, we cannot ask for the EU to compel member states to change their national laws and to guarantee the right to abortion. We have therefore thought of a mechanism of solidarity in which member states that wish to do so can obtain EU fundings to perform abortion for those who are still deprived of it, in accordance with their national practices and legislation, which is really important. Such a mechanism is in line with the EU law because we know that the EU already provides financial support to national systems in many areas related to health. This was actually confirmed by the Commission when it decided to register the initiative we submit. We affirm that such a mechanism is necessary at the European level to assure the EU implements the value it had set for itself: protection of human dignity, promotion of the well-being of its people, combating discrimination, and combating inequality.
Thank you. And I'm giving the word next to Annika, one of the doctors who are with us from the beginning of the initiative, to ask her, from her concrete practice, why this initiative is important.
Thank you, Nika. Does this work? Yeah. The WHO states it very clear. Denying women the access to abortions will not stop them from having abortions. It will just force them to attain abortions under unsafe conditions. My name is Annika Kreitler. I will be speaking as a doctor who's performing abortions daily. Even though abortions, when performed under safe conditions, are a very safe procedure, unsafe abortions, however, can have drastic consequences for the health of the woman or the pregnant person. Infection, heavy bleeding, perforation or scarring of the uterus, infertility, and sometimes even death can all be consequences of unsafe abortions. Forced to continue an unwanted pregnancy and being denied an abortion access can also have severe mental health implications for pregnant people. An abortion can also sometimes be necessary in a planned and wanted pregnancy that for some reason turned into a danger to the health and the well-being of the expecting mother. Sometimes a dangerous infection can spread fast through the body, and here time can become a life-saving factor. You just heard cases of these happening in multiple countries in Europe that were only, for example, in the case of Mirella, be able to be saved because she was able to travel out of her own country. When we are talking about saving lives with the My Voice, My Choice initiatives, it is lives as hers that could be and will be saved by it. There's one more point I want to make before I finish. The discussion we are always having is always based about whether you are pro or against abortion. But actually, it doesn't matter whether I'm pro or against abortion, just like it doesn't matter whether I'm pro or against a heart attack, because they will happen anyways. And my job as a doctor, as an empathetic, as a caring doctor, is to be with my patients in these situations, whether that would be a heart attack or a pregnancy, whether that is a wanted, planned, and healthy pregnancy, or that is an unwanted or unhealthy pregnancy, because that is my job as a doctor.
Thank you so much. Now we are moving to Poland. Justina, can you speak about the situation there and why initiative is important for Poland?
Thank you. On behalf of the Foundation for Women and Family Planning Federa, I'd like to express our deep appreciation to the initiators of My Voice, My Choice. For us, this is a historic moment. The voices of those demanding access to safe abortion in the EU are finally being heard. Poland has one of the most restrictive abortion laws in Europe. In 2020, the Constitutional Tribunal removed the fetal impairment ground, which had allowed almost 90% of legal abortions. Since then, abortion within the healthcare system has been available only when life or health is at risk, or when the pregnancy results from a crime. And anyone who helps outside the law, including friends and family, faces criminal charges. And even when abortion is legal on paper, access is extremely limited due to fear, stigma, and systemic barriers. And we know the consequences. We lost lives of Isabella, Dorota, Justyna, and others. Many more have been traumatized by the system meant to protect them. Joanna, after her abortion, was reported to the police by her doctor and humiliated by officers instead of receiving care. Alexandra, after a miscarriage, was interrogated while her septic tank was pumped in search of evidence. In 2024, the CEDAW committee found that restricting abortion in Poland amounts to violence against women. The ECHR has repeatedly ruled that Poland violates reproductive rights, yet the law remains the same. Officially, Poland reports only a few hundred abortions a year, but estimates indicate as many as 1,500,000, most of them outside the healthcare system. Women in Poland travel everywhere they can, within and outside Europe, to access abortion. But safe care therefore depends on financial means, and criminalization leaves those with the least resources facing dangerous or impossible choices. This is why My Voice, My Choice is needed. It can ease the financial burden on thousands of women, especially those most affected by restrictive laws, minorities, underserved communities, and anyone without the means to travel. Women in Poland need support from the EU now. It is not only about healthcare. It's about dignity, equality, and the ability to live without fear. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are doing this for so many countries, for so many people, and we are standing with you in solidarity. Now we are moving to Italy. Italy was one of the most successful countries in signature collection, one of the countries with limited access to abortion. Can you please tell us, what is all the stuff that happened to us so far?
So thank you, Tina. It's okay, okay. I'm Alice Spaccini, and I coordinated in Italy My Voice, My Choice physical mobilization on behalf of Associazione Luca Coscioni and Humans. And what we achieved with this initiative is a clearest proof that civic engagement really works. During the first month of online signature collection, it became clear that online effort alone wasn't enough. And together with Nika and Marco Cappato, we made a strategic choice to brought My Voice, My Choice into the streets with a grassroots mobilization across all Europe. And the first major action took place during the International Day for Safe Abortion on 28th of September, when in Italy, for example, more than 50 collection points and events were organized in a single day, and collecting in one day over 30,000 signatures just in Italy. And from there, weekend mobilization were organized in several occasions, giving new momentum from the My Voice, My Choice initiative. And it is thanks to this civic participation and that the 1st of September, we were able to submit over 1 million signatures to the European Commission with quorum reached in 19 member states. So exactly 1 month later, on October 1st, we were officially heard by the Commission, where we present the initiative and explain why supporting access to safe and legal abortion is a matter of urgency, but also because it's a fundamental right. And from that moment, everything is changed. On 5th November, the FEMM Committee of European Parliament supporting and adopted a resolution to support My Voice, My Choice. And this resolution will soon go to the plenary. The last 13 November, the Parliament voted to include My Voice, My Choice on the gender equality strategy, so another important goal, calling to the Commission to activate the funding mechanism we propose with My Voice, My Choice initiative. And today marks another very important milestone. Presenting My Voice, My Choice initiative at the European Parliament means placing abortion access at the center of European political agenda, so exactly where it belongs. So I think we are all very happy about this. The success of My Voice, My Choice was reached through the dedication and the passion of thousands of volunteers all across Europe. And thanks to this amazing mobilization, My Voice, My Choice is now at the heart of the European debate. So thank you all for this incredible journey.
Thank you. And I'm asking Sarah to speak a little bit about hearing today.
Thank you, Nika. So today the hearing was very stressful. I think we were all, let's face it, we were very stressed, and not necessarily because of people in the room, but people outside of the room who we feel responsible for. We got the mandate by 1.2 million people to carry their voices, and so it was a lot of pressure for us to do well, especially for those people. We were just 4 people speaking, but really there were 1.2 million people speaking with us. So it's good to remind ourselves, and some of the MEPs reminded people in the room that we were not just 4 people, we were 1.2 million people through our voices. It's the voice of the youth and the retired who collected signatures together. It's the voices of the people who spoke up on social media because that was their means of mobilization, and others who were in the street, as you were saying, Alicia, collecting this signature. It's the people who said to us, let's do it, when we started, and there were not a few. There were really a few, and then those who joined the effort, just like you explained rightly so. So I think that today in the hearing we were 4 people talking, but our voices were most importantly the ones of 20 million women whose lives are going to change when the European Parliament and Commission enforce this initiative, because they will. We received a lot of support from MEPs and commissioners from parties who don't agree on everything, and I think that's important to say. But they agree on one thing: we can't let people suffer because of lack of care. And thank you for reminding that, Annika. So we are proud of the way we ran this campaign, including this morning in the hearing, with love, kindness, and empathy. We focus our efforts on what good can come up from these institutions, that is the EU, and there are no attacks, no lies that can shake our determination. We also showed this today in the hearing, and we're going to continue to do that. So there are still some steps before we win, but we have no doubts that the European commissioners and MEPs will make the only possible choices, which is to save the lives of women who are still dying for lack of abortion care.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you for all 5 speakers. I'm asking you now to sit in the audience and inviting next, I don't know if 5, 3 for sure. So come. Okay, Marlene, I will go to you. What is in front of us?
Thank you. So the hearing to date marks another milestone for this particular ECI, but we are far from done. As always, every time we win something or when we do well, we are reminded very quickly that this is just one step. And so on 18th of December, there's the next milestone that's waiting for us, and it will be the plenary vote where the European Parliament will once again have to show up and prove where they stand on access to safe abortion. And then it's the Commission's turn to decide if they will follow the voices of over 1 million Europeans who want nothing more than grant basic reproductive health care to those who need it. And by 2nd of March, we expect a decision, and we're all very anxious to make this happen.
Thank you. Marco, why is it important that this initiative wins?
Thank you, Nika. It is important for citizens and women, and you already explained why. I think it's also important for the European Union itself, because the European Union is often perceived as distant from citizens and their daily life. And some of the strongest opponents to My Voice, My Choice are also some of the most furious against the Europe of bankers, Europe of bureaucrats. We have a huge occasion about that, because if the European Union Commission will decide to activate the EU legislation according to My Voice, My Choice request, this would be a huge step forward in building Europe also as an area of rights and freedom, not just Europe of bankers and bureaucrats. So this would also be important for European institutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco, and we will end with Matteo. What is our message to the members of European Parliament?
So my name is Matteo, and I am coming to you today not only as an activist, but mainly as a citizen of the European Union. And I have a message for the member of the European Parliament. We are watching you. There's 1.2 million people who have signed the European Citizen Initiative, and there's 1.2 million people who will make sure to check who votes for what on the 18th of December during the vote on a resolution on My Voice, My Choice. I believe, as an EU citizen, that abortion right is not a decisive topic, no matter what people say. And I want and I hope that the MEPs for whom I vote will believe the same thing. I urge you to vote in favor of My Voice, My Choice on the 18th of December. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So to sum up, initiative went a long run. We are not intervening in national competencies. We are just asking European Union to create a financial mechanism which would allow women to travel to the places where abortion is safe when they need it. And basically countries will decide voluntarily if they want to do it or not. We are super happy that we got a second Prime Minister who is supporting this, Prime Minister from Spain, and we are working hard to get some other guys or women on our side. Let's see, sadly not enough women. But also we are here because the situation is not good, because 20 million of women do not have access to safe abortion. We are happy that Mirela is here with us, who was one of the inspirations why we started to do this, and her story is basically a daily reminder that behind those numbers of 20 million women are real people with real stories, brave people who are here with us, and it is important that that kind of stuff does not happen to anyone anymore. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for being here with us, and thank you all of you to supporting us. The next vote, as we said, is on 18th of December, the decision by the Commission on 2nd of March, and we promise you one thing: we will not be quiet till then. Thank you so much.